A macromolecule is a molecule containing a very large number of atoms, such as protein, nucleic acid, or synthetic polymer. Macromolecules are held together by hydrogen bonds, that of which are also responsible for holding together DNA and proteins. All biological processes rely on macromolecules to help them function, such as energy storage, structural support, carrying genetic information, etc. The building blocks of these large molecules are known as the monomer. A monomer is a molecule that is joined by covalent bonds to form larger polymers. Covalent bonds are a chemical bond that share electrons to form electron pairs between atoms. There are 4 different types of macromolecules. Firstly, carbohydrates. Carbohydrates, or carbs, are made up of carbon, a naturally abundant, non-metallic element that occurs in all organic compounds and can be found in all known forms of life, hydrogen, and oxygen. The monomer for carbohydrates are monosaccharides, which once in its polymer form is known as glucose. Glucose is the main type of sugar in the blood and is the major source of energy for the body's cells. This being said, carbohydrates are the body's main source of fuel. Secondly, there's lipids, which are also made up of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. The monomer for lipids is glycerol and/or fatty acids, which are carboxylic acids with an aliphatic chain, either being saturated or unsaturated. Lipids function to help store large amounts of long-term energy, as well as insulation and hormone regulation. Second to last, we have proteins, which are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. The monomer of proteins are amino acids. Amino acids are molecules that combine to form proteins, so when proteins are digested or broken down, amino acids are the result. The human body then uses amino acids and peptide bonds to make proteins to help the body break down food. Proteins function as signal receptors as well as being used to make hormones and enzymes. Additionally, proteins are involved in DNA replication. DNA is a self-replicating material that is present in nearly all living organisms as the main constituent of chromosomes, i.e. the carrier of genetic information. Lastly, there's nucleic acids, which are made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and phosphorus. The monomer for nucleic acids is nucleotide. Nucleotides are organic molecules composed of a nitrogenous base, a pentose sugar, and a phosphate. Nucleic acids function to carry genetic information. Within nucleic acids, phosphate groups are found. Phosphate is a chemical compound made up of 1 phosphorus and 4 oxygen atoms. When phosphate is attached to a molecule containing carbon, it is called a phosphate group. Phosphate groups are found in the genetic material, DNA, and RNA. RNA being the polymeric molecule that is needed for most biological functions, either by performing the function itself or by forming a template to produce proteins. Additionally, phosphate groups are found in molecules such as adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate is a nucleotide that provides energy to support many processes in living cells, such as muscle contraction, nerve impulse propagation, and chemical synthesis. One component of the ribonucleotides from which RNA is built is ribose, a sugar and carbohydrate that is necessary for decoding, coding, expression of genes, and regulation. In conclusion, the 4 major macromolecules are very important. They perform functions like structural support, acting as a source of fuel, storing and retrieving genetic information, as well as biochemical reactions, and are essential for carrying out various life activities.